What if a single glance could say everything? What if a wedding scene, just a few seconds long, could stir hearts across the globe before it even hits the screen? Today, we're diving into the viral moment that has the entire drama world holding its breath. Xian and Yang Zi's wedding scene in The Beauty of the Country hasn't aired yet, but it's already breaking the internet. Why? Because this isn't just a wedding. It's an emotional earthquake. Before the scene ever made it to air, it had already captured the hearts of millions. In just a few seconds of footage, Xian and Yang Zi did something extraordinary. They told a love story without words. There was no grand music, no dramatic lighting, no sweeping declarations. Just two people, standing close, helping each other remove their ceremonial clothing in silence, their eyes meeting with a tenderness that felt almost sacred. And somehow, that quiet, restrained moment said more about love than any elaborate monologue ever could. The emotional weight of the scene lies not in what is said, but in what is felt. You can sense the years of longing, the obstacles they've overcome, and the fragile vulnerability of finally being together. It is a love steeped in history, tension, and unspoken promises. For fans, it is a culmination of emotional investment, a reward for watching two characters fight their way through betrayal, politics, and personal sacrifice. What makes this moment even more impactful is its universality. Whether you are watching from New York, Seoul, Paris, or Jakarta, that look between them, filled with gratitude, awe, and fear, transcends language. It's not about spectacle. It's about connection. And that's why, even before the episode airs, the wedding scene is already being called one of the most iconic in recent Chinese drama history. It's intimate, it's vulnerable, and most of all, it's real. That's the magic that Xian and Yang Zi have managed to create, and why the world is waiting with bated breath to see what happens next. What makes this wedding scene between Xian and Yang Zi resonate so deeply on a global scale is not just the chemistry between the actors or the beauty of the production. It's the quiet emotional truth it captures. In a world that often craves louder, bigger, and faster moments, this scene whispers instead of shouts. And that whisper reaches across cultures, languages, and generations, touching something deeply human in all of us. It reminds us that love, in its purest form, doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives in silence, in the soft gesture of a hand fixing a collar or the vulnerability in someone's eyes as they let their guard down. Audiences from vastly different cultures are responding with equal intensity. For those in Japan and South Korea, where restraint and emotional subtlety are deeply woven into storytelling traditions, this scene feels familiar and comforting. For Western viewers, it offers a fresh perspective, a reminder that romance doesn't need to be grandiose to be powerful. And for Southeast Asian fans, it mirrors the quiet strength and emotional resilience so often found in their own dramas and relationships. This scene is not just about two characters, it becomes a mirror. People see their own stories in it, a love that took time, a connection that overcame silence, a moment that didn't need words to be understood. It is this universality, this emotional clarity, that turns a simple wedding night into something far greater. The scene becomes a shared experience, uniting people across continents in a single feeling, that love, no matter where you are in the world, can still leave you breathless. In an age where love on screen is often expressed through dramatic confessions and grand gestures, Xian and Yang Zi's wedding scene in The Beauty of the Country offers something far more profound, the quiet, potent language of unspoken emotion. It is in the absence of dialogue, in the stillness between their movements, that the true depth of their connection emerges. This is not love shouted from rooftops. This is love breathed softly in moments that most people would overlook, and it is precisely this restraint that makes the scene so emotionally powerful. There is something almost sacred about watching two people help each other with the smallest of tasks, removing a hairpin, adjusting a sleeve, because within these actions lives an unspoken understanding. Their gazes meet, not in a clash of passion, but in a recognition that they have arrived at this moment through pain, through struggle, and through sacrifice. The intensity of that recognition does not need to be said aloud. It is felt deeply, by anyone who has ever loved quietly, or waited patiently, or endured silently for the sake of someone else. The camera lingers not on spectacle, but on expression, the subtle tightening of a jaw, the soft tremble in a breath, the way their hands almost hesitate before touching. These are not theatrics, these are truths. Emotional truths that speak to the audience in a way words never could. This scene proves that silence, when shared between two people who truly understand each other, can echo louder than any spoken vow. It is a celebration of vulnerability, of intimacy that cannot be performed, only lived, and that is why viewers around the world are finding themselves unexpectedly moved. In the quiet, they see themselves. In the unspoken, they feel seen. Beneath the veil of tenderness and romance, a question lingers, a quiet, unsettling possibility that not all is as it seems. Could this breathtaking wedding scene between Xian and Zi's characters be more than just a moment of love? In a drama as layered and politically charged as the beauty of the country, nothing is ever straightforward. And for viewers who have followed every twist and betrayal, the emotional intensity of this scene may hold a double edge, one of devotion and one of danger. The ceremony may seem intimate, heartfelt, even sacred, but for a story rooted in court politics, shifting alliances, and quiet rebellions, marriage is rarely just about love. It is often a transaction, a negotiation cloaked in ritual. Some fans believe this union could be the key to a larger game, a trap set to secure power, test loyalty, or even sacrifice love for duty. And that tension, that possibility, is what keeps the audience leaning forward, not just to witness romance, but to uncover the truth beneath it. What if this tender exchange is the calm before a storm? What if one of them is being used as a pawn, or worse, knows it, and goes through with it anyway? These are the kinds of questions that stir not just curiosity, but emotion. Because the most heartbreaking betrayals are the ones that bloom in moments that feel the safest. That's the genius of the scene. It invites you in with softness, then leaves a quiet echo of doubt. It's this delicate balance between love and uncertainty, between sincerity and suspicion, that makes the wedding scene not just unforgettable, but haunting. And it's why fans can't stop watching, searching for clues in every glance, every pause, every breath. What makes the wedding scene between Xian and Zi's characters in The Beauty of the Country so profoundly moving isn't just the intimacy or the unspoken emotion, it's the layers of symbolism that run quietly beneath every frame. On the surface, it is a deeply romantic moment. But when you look closer, you begin to see that every gesture, every prop, every piece of wardrobe has been chosen not simply for beauty, but for meaning. And it is in these subtleties that the true depth of the story reveals itself. Take the double happiness symbol often seen in Chinese weddings. It represents unity, shared fate, and the merging of two lives into one. But in the context of this scene, set within a narrative of political intrigue and personal sacrifice, it also takes on a more complicated meaning. Is this truly happiness for both characters, or is it a forced harmony created for survival? The symbol becomes both a blessing and a question, challenging the audience to consider what happiness costs when it is tied to duty. Even the act of removing hairpins, seemingly mundane, speaks volumes. In traditional Chinese culture, hairpins represent a woman's status, identity, and even emotional state. When Zi's character lets her hair fall, it is not only a gesture of trust and vulnerability, but also a silent surrender of her past self. In the stillness of that moment, she's telling a story of transformation, of stepping into an uncertain future with open eyes and trembling hands. These hidden meanings are not accidental. They are intentional gifts for the attentive viewer. They allow the scene to live beyond the screen, to echo in the hearts of those who understand that love, especially in a world as fragile as theirs, is never just about feeling, it's also about what we choose to give up for it. The wedding scene between Xian and Zi may feel like a climax, a long-awaited emotional reward for their characters' painful journey, but in truth, it is not an ending. It is a turning point. This moment of softness, of seeming resolution, is not where the story settles but where it shifts. And for a drama as rich and unpredictable as The Beauty of the Country, that shift is everything. This scene marks a rare moment of stillness in a world built on chaos, and its quiet intensity hints that something larger is coming. Love, in this story, has never existed in isolation. It has always been intertwined with politics, loyalty, betrayal, and sacrifice. The fact that these two characters have found each other, at least for now, does not guarantee peace. Instead, it raises the stakes. What will they do to protect each other? What will they risk to stay together? And most devastatingly, what might they lose? Fans who have been watching closely know that every emotional peak in this drama is followed by a hard fall. The tenderness we see in this wedding scene may well be the last refuge before the storm returns. Rumors of shifting alliances and hidden agendas swirl around the edges of the narrative, suggesting that this moment of connection will either strengthen them or test them beyond repair. What this scene means for the drama's future is not certainty, but urgency. It deepens our emotional investment while sharpening our anticipation. We are not just watching two characters fall in love, We are witnessing them build something fragile in a world determined to tear it down. And now, more than ever, we are afraid for them. Not because we doubt their love, but because we know what this world does to people who dare to love this deeply. So maybe that's the real power of this moment. It's not just about the bride and groom. It's about every one of us who's ever loved quietly, longed silently, or hoped for something more, just from a look, a gesture, a moment. And if a teaser can make us feel this much, imagine what the full episode will do. If this moment moved you, inspired you, or made you think about love in a new way, please, red heart, hit that like button. Speech balloon and tell us in the comments, what do you think will happen in this wedding scene?
This is just the beginning.
More behind the scenes, character analysis, and emotional deep dives are coming soon. Because sometimes, the smallest moments become the most unforgettable. Movie cameras, stay with us. Let's feel it all, together.